to the optimist, the glass is half full. To the pessimist, the glass is half empty. But to the engineer, the glass is twice as big as it needs to be.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Tina Benz.
And I am Jiy Uiy.
With great joy and immense exultation, I'm privileged to extend my warm welcome to all who are presented with us for the inauguration of Undergraduate Inventor of the Year 2021.
Yes, Dina. Undergraduate Inventor of the Year UIY and the Junior Inventor of the Year JIY are tremendous programs brought to light by the titan that is supporting the engineering industry of our nation, the Institution of Engineers, Sri Lanka.
Are you willing to enter professional engineering? If so, today is your day to join hands with the apex body for professional engineers in Sri Lanka.
Yes, indeed. With the prevailing COVID-19 tragedy, everything has become virtual. But we shall never forget our culture and traditions. So, to start today's proceedings, let's have the blessings by lighting the auspicious oil lamp. For this auspicious moment, I invite our chief guest, the President of the Iesl, Engineer KPIU Dharmapala. Then, I invite guest of honor, Engineer Arjuna Manamperi, the President-elect of the IESL. Then, the advisor of JIY and UIY, Engineer M.R. Ranatunga, the AGM of the Projects Division of the CEB. Then, the Chairman of the JIY and UIY Committee, Engineer Namodana Kankanamge, and the Secretary, Dr. Dulini Mudunkotua.
Then I would like to invite our special guests, Engineer Tharinda Suraj, past winner of JIY, Mr. G.K. Bandara, past winner of JIY, Mr. Ganindu Nanayakara, past winner of JIY, Mr. K.G. Vijayawardena.
Furthermore, I would like to invite one committee member to represent the committee as well as one participant from the audience, representing the audience.
Thank you all. We have lots of invaluable personalities presented here today, joining hands with us in this cherished evening. Engineer Navodana Kankanamge, who is a chartered electrical engineer at Ceylon Electricity Board, was graduated from the Department of Electrical Engineering at University of Malta in 2009. This great personality completed Masters in Electrical Engineering from the University of Malta in 2015, and he works as a corporate member of IESL. I'm privileged to mention that Engineer Navodana is a council member of Institution of Engineers Sri Lanka for both sessions 2019-20 and 2020-21, and became the chairman of the Young Members section of IESL for the session 2019-20. Next, I would like to invite the Chairman of Junior Inventor of the Year, Undergraduate Inventor of the Year programs of IESL 2021, and the President of UIY, Engineer Nawardhana Kankanange, to welcome you all.
Thank you very much. Good evening to you all. IESL, conducting JIY competitions for decades. We have made many international winners as well. The IESL JIY committee has decided to launch the application calling ceremony for this time ceremonially in virtual platform for the first time in the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic. On behalf of IESL JIY committee, I'm honored to welcome the chief guest, Engineer K.P. Ayu Dharampala, President of IESL, the guest of honor, Engineer Arjuna Manampere, President-elect of IESL, advisor of IESL JIY Committee, Engineer M.R. Ranatunga, Chairman of Electrical Sectional Committee, and all council members, Engineer Tarun Suraj, an inventor, Mr. G.K. Mandara, Mr. Ganindu Nanakara, Mr. K.G. Vichayavardhana, past winners of IESL JIY, and all distinguished guests, JIY committee members, and all IESL members, school students, teachers, parents, lecturers, and undergraduates. We shall be thankful to Engineer Dan Hera, who was the past chairman of JIY, and Engineer J. Meekoda, who was the giant behind JIY for decades. This time we started some series of discussions called Innovation, which is a platform that focuses sharing industrial experiences, expertise, and exposure of senior engineers with inventors, prospective competitors, while promoting creativity and soft skills prior to launching these applications. Meanwhile, we are lucky to find most honorable guests and speakers to charter this online application launching concept. This is also an innovation. I invite all participants here to stay live with us in different capacities, as a competitor, maybe as an advisor, maybe as a judge, consultant, or event organizer throughout this process. While appreciating and dedication of the team member of JIY committee, I warmly welcome you all for this remarkable ceremony. Thank you, everyone. Over to you, MCs. Thank you.
Thank you very much, dear sir, for that warm welcome. Next, I know you would be wondering what UIY and JIY really are. Now it's time to enlighten you more about our purpose of being here today. First of all, we have Dr. Dulini Mudunkotua, who is a chartered engineer in mechanical engineering and works currently as the head of the Department of Interdisciplinary Studies, Faculty of Engineering, University of Sri Jayawardenepura. She graduated from the Department of Mechanical Engineering of University of Moratuwa in 2009 and completed her PhD at University of Tokyo, Japan in 2016. Dr. Dulini Mudunkotua became the secretary of the Young Member Section of IESL for the session 2019 and 2020, and she is currently the secretary of the Junior Inventor of the Year and Undergraduate Inventor of the Year programs of IESL for the session 2020 to 2021. Dear Madam, I invite you to brief us on the UIY.
Thank you very much, for that very generous introduction. Actually, it is my great pleasure to introduce the Undergraduate Inventor of the Year program to all of you today. So I think as JIY and UIY, we are doing our best to address a need of the hour where we need to promote more inventors, innovators and inventors who will give us the slightest hope of improving the economy of this country. So I think across all the universities, all the engineering faculties in Sri Lanka, there are many projects that are done by undergraduates at different stages of their study program. However, out of all these hundreds and hundreds of projects, only very few reach the point where they apply for a patent, and out of which it is a very less number of patents that actually become commercialized products. So I think as JIY, we are trying to increase this amount at least by a little by giving a small nudge towards the right direction. So before introducing the program, this is something I saw in one of the lectures conducted by MIT Design Program. So what they say is the innovation is the result of resolving desires and requirements, which are, in other words, trying to combine wants and needs to produce something that is an invention or genius solution to a problem that is commonly seen in the society. So this reconciling the desires and requirements, or the wants and needs, is the ingenuity of any inventor. And I hope, I'm sure there are many talented undergraduates are there in the Sri Lankan engineering faculties, and we have seen it number of times. But with this UIY program, we are actually providing them with a platform to shine and to show what they have done during their undergraduate studies to the entire nation. So we are not, let me introduce who this program is open to. So any student from any of the engineering faculties listed here can take part in this competition. You can also participate as an individual, or you can participate as a group. Including your academic advisor, we want to limit this number of members in the group to 8, because if there is anything more than 8, it's only natural there will be some free riders in your groups. So, and another requirement is that all these members needs to be student members of IESL or the affiliated members of the IESL. And the application process is not very complicated. I think today we'll be launching that website. So we'll be providing all the links to this application. It's a very simple Google form that you have to fill with the description of your invention. And you have to convince us about the originality of your product by comparing it with the existing products that are already available. And we also want to know in which stage your invention is currently, whether it's still a concept, whether you have built a proof of concept, or it's a working model that you have. So we'd like to know which stage you are in at the moment. But at the initial stage, we will only be thinking about how effective your concept is. We don't really judge you by where you are at the stage of the progression. And we'll definitely like to know the team members, and I think it's your duty to include all of the people who are involved in this project, including your academic advisors. And to verify these details, we also need you also need to fill a small form with an e-signature of the head of the department of wherever you study, and you need to submit it along with that. So I think the entire application process will not take much long. It's a very simple process. I'm sure it's not very complicated to all these engineering undergraduates here today. So so the deliverables at the end, we hope you'll build the proof of concept by the time we are having the final competition. And we would also like to see a brochure of whatever the product that you invent. And we would also like to see a 3-minute video where you should be able to introduce your product to an educated but also a non-technical audience, how you should, so both these methods have been used because we need to bring our products to the general public. So so therefore you should be able to introduce your high technical products to the general audience in a very effective way. So we would like you to have these 3 things ready by the time we are going for the final competition. So, so these are the things that we expect you to produce by the end of this competition. And also, how you are being judged at the end is solely depend upon the inventive step of your product or the idea. So it could be a software, it could be an actual technical product. Whatever it is, the judging criteria is how strong your inventive step is and what is the impact it has for the general public. So those are the things that I don't want to take much time to introduce this. I think you can all go through these documents and read it for yourself. So this is basically the summary of what we have written in those documents. And finally, I would like to end the reason behind we are doing this is to nurture unconventional thinkers in order to develop engineers who will contribute creatively to our society. Thank you very much.
The Institution of Engineers Sri Lanka is the multidisciplinary professional engineering institution in Sri Lanka. It was established in 1956. It is an apex body for professional engineers in Sri Lanka with the vision of be amongst the leading professional institution in engineering and technology in the world. Its mission is to be the apex national body of engineers in Sri Lanka, which ensures internationally recognized and locally relevant standards in the professional practice and education in engineering. Undergraduate Inventor of the Year by Iesl is another great initiative which any undergraduate or a team of undergraduates from engineering faculties of Sri Lanka can participate. We encourage and stimulate the creativity and interest in innovation among engineering undergraduates and contribute for real-world problems. Expose students to competitive and challenging competitions and provide a venue for networking with the industry and academia will be the milestones of UIY competition. At the end of the competition, winners will get exclusive cash prizes, awards and certificates with a remarkable experience. For registrations, please visit www.uiy@iesl.lk. You all are welcome to create the innovative pathway of your future.
Thank you, dear madam. And next, we move on to the introduction session of the JIY. For that, we have our beloved chairman of the JIY and UIY committee, Engineer Navodana Kankanamge. Sir, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Actually, JIY and UIY both are same. Only difference is the age limit. We are focusing JIY for the school students and UIY for the undergraduates. But both of them are doing the same. Here, JIY competition, Iesl started in 1980. It has a long way. I also joined for the school awareness program since 2010. Some of our senior engineers, they did for decades. It has very long history. Here, the age limit is 12 to 19. Children in age group 12 to 19 from any school all over the country can participate. And initially, preliminary competitions held at provincial level. Thereafter, the final competition will be held at ISL premises. But with this prevailing situation, we are going to do all the competitions in online platform. JIY finalists are facilitated to display their inventions at the JIY stall at annual flagship of ISL, the Techno exhibition. Sometimes with the prevailing conditions, we could not be able to help that, but still we are giving the platform, online platform to mark that occasion. Gold, silver, and bronze medal together with certificates and cash rewards those who are placing first, second, and third competition are awarded at the inauguration of the annual session of ISL. The top 10 inventors at the competition, together with the 10 finalists of Science Foundation, Science Research Project Competition of the NSF, then we are taking both together and we are sending them for the Intel Corporation International Competition. Today, we are launching application for both JIY and UIY separately. JIY team has appointed about 120 school representatives. The reason is those days we visited the school and we did awareness sessions. But this time and last time, we could not be able to visit schools. So we appointed 120 school representatives. They are obviously school, all boys or all girls, and they are helping to the school. They are bridging with the school, with the invention club of school and in charge teacher of that club. And we are helping them continuously throughout this process. And we are happy to see remarkable number of participation for this time competition, because the application also online one, they don't need to send hard copies to us. All the things are available with our website once we launch it by our chief guest and guest of honor. So this would be a great achievement for the JIY committee, because all the things are now innovative. We are doing innovative way. Thank you very much, and over to you, MC, for the proceedings.
Institution of Engineers, Sri Lanka is the successor to the Engineering Association of Ceylon, which was founded in 1906. In 1968, this association was made an incorporated body of the government by an Act of Parliament as the Institution of Engineers. Ceylon, which was subsequently named the Institution of Engineers Sri Lanka when our country became a republic. The IESL being the apex body for engineering professionals in Sri Lanka, having a membership of more than 20,000, is called upon to represent the profession at many national forums and contribute to national development.
Pushing the boundaries of innovative culture, the Junior Inventor of the Year competition came to life in 1980 under the guidance of the Institution of Engineers Sri Lanka. Laying out the vision of encouraging innovation in engineering and technology among school children in Sri Lanka, the JIY is promoting creativity and bringing out the inner potential of students to this day. Starting with 50 inventors annually, JIY has now synergized the confluence of innovation island-wide by being the platform for thousands of young innovators. The competition brings provincial awareness programs, provincial-level competitions, residential workshops, and more learning opportunities together. Reshaping the future of its competitors, JIY creates the path to climb the ladder of success by rewarding them with exclusive scholarships, monetary prizes, internship opportunities, and international recognition. Fostering the culture of innovation and sparking endless possibilities in Sri Lanka, the resurgence of JIY 2021 marks the 41st installment of the competition.
Thank you so much, sir, for the great introduction. Engineer Sachini Somatilaka is an electrical engineer at Sri Lanka Energies Private Limited. She was graduated from Department of Electrical Engineering, University of Malta in 2020 and is an associate member of IESL. Engineer Sachini Somatilaka is a committee member of the Junior Inventor of the Year, Undergraduate Inventor of the Year of IESL for the session 2020-21. Next up, I would like to invite Engineer Sachini Somatilaka to undertake the forum discussion with our distinguished panelists. Over to you.
Thank you, Dina, and good evening, everyone. As you all know, this is the first time we are conducting the JIY launching ceremony in a virtual environment. And this is the first ever UIY competition going to be held. So today, there is a distinguished team joining with us for our forum. First of all, I would like to invite our chief guest for the today's launching ceremony, the President of the Institution of Engineers Sri Lanka, Engineer K.P. Ayyu Dharmapala. He had graduated from University of Peradeniya in 1979, and he's a civil engineer having 42 years of experience in civil construction, design, project planning, and contract management. He is a representative of the IESL in the Credential Committee of the Construction Industry Development Authority, Construction Industry Skills Council, and IESL College of Engineering. Engineer Dharmapala is one of the representative members of the IESL in the Engineering Council of Sri Lanka as well. We are honored to have you here with us, sir. Since there are many engineering undergraduates joining with us today, this will be a great opportunity for them to have your kind advices. Engineer Dharmapala, dear sir, let us know your insights about the importance of actively participating in events like this. Dear sir, over to you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Uh, First of all, I want to tell the gathering that during our time, even in schools or in universities, we never had this kind of programs. Now the situation is different. Technology is so developed. Now even today we are conducting this event from various parts of the island. I am joining in the northwestern province place, a village close to Vennapua. Sometimes president-elect from Kalambu, Maharagama, some members from Kandy or various parts of the island. So what I say is, beginning is very difficult. So you are having this great opportunity. ISL is there. In our time, ISL never came to university or schools. Now, young members section or JIY, those division sections of the ISL, they are having very close contacts with schools as well as universities. They conduct various programs to enhance your knowledge in communication or in other areas, especially in technological seminars or quiz competitions or debates like that. Various programs are conducted, and ISL is there to show you the path to achieve the greatest heights of the field of engineering. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, for your valuable thoughts. It would be a great help for these undergraduates to work towards a successful nature. So, next we'll move to our next guest. He is a young inventor, Engineer Tarindu Suraj. He is the founder and the CEO of the SRQ Robotics, which is a startup focused on implementing robotics and drone-based systems to fulfill industrial requirements. He has been graduated from the University of Moratuwa with a BSc Honours degree in Electronics and Telecommunication Engineering. Engineer Suraj currently holds 2 patents for his research in the aviation industry. In addition to that, he has 2 diplomas in aircraft maintenance engineering and clinical psychology. He had worked with the National Science Agency of Australia and has been recognized for his research about robotics and won many awards as well. Apart from being a young entrepreneur, he follows his passions for the music industry and working as a consulting audio engineer, showing his talents in multiple areas. Engineer Suraj, we would like to hear from you about your experience as an inventor and what are the lessons and insights you can give to our competitors from your experience. Over to you.
Okay, so good evening, everyone. Thank you, Sachini, for that great introduction. I think it's not been a while since I got graduated from the University of Moratuwa. I got graduated in 2018. So it's been about 2.5 years. And I started my startup in last year, at the beginning of 2020. So first, I will share my story, how I became an inventor. Because if I go back to my school days, I think that's where I began my life as an inventor. Because I had the passion towards electronics, robotics, and especially in drones. And because of that, I got the opportunity to do my first diploma in aircraft maintenance engineering while I'm doing my O-levels. And with the knowledge that I got from that, and because of the passion that I had towards the innovations, I joined with the school invention society. And by that time, we had this JIY competition, and I got to know about that through our inventors society. And that time, they were selecting top 3 or top 5 positions, and the IESL was sponsoring them to go to US and take part in the ISF competitions, the International Science and Engineering Fair. Right, so I wanted to take part in the JIY competitions because I wanted to go to US and I wanted to represent the country as an inventor. But I took part in the JIY competition twice, and both times, unfortunately, I got rejected. But the most important thing that I got from the JIY competition, because by that time, I didn't have proper access to the internet. I didn't have a chance to compare my invention with the others. I didn't have a chance to get proper knowledge to make my idea a reality. So there, in the JIY competition, I got the chance to talk with many other inventors in Sri Lanka. And most importantly, the most valuable thing is I got my invention reviewed by an expert panel, which I never had the chance to meet. So I consider that as the most valuable opportunity that I got from the JIY competitions while being a school student. Right? Because in an invention, you have to go through several iterations to make it perfect. Right? So most of the times it can't be the first time that you come up with the idea and then you go through the technical background and you design the device or the service, and you need to get some expert consultancy, and you need to make some iterations to make it adhere to the industry requirements or make it adhere to the current trends. Right? So I think that's how I begin my life as an inventor. So in first couple of times I got rejected, but importantly, I didn't get discouraged. So that's the most important thing, because most people that I have seen, they usually get quiet. Right? They give up on their journey as an inventor after losing 1 or 2 competitions. So I kept continuing my researches on drones and robotics technologies, and then I got the opportunity to enter to the University of Morocco. Right? So there I got the proper technical background to make my concepts a reality. Because according to my point of view, you need to have the creativity to come up with the novel idea or to come up with an invention. So that's the first stage, right? Because without the creativity, you cannot do an invention. But the university education or the technical background helps you to make that idea a reality. So that's the second step, because there are several people out there who do not have a proper background, a proper technical background, but still they are good inventors because they have this ability of creativity. Right? So I was continuing my researches on drones and robotics, and there I got the chance to apply for several competitions, and I got recognized by the IEEE. I think you all might have heard about the IEEE, which is the organization which makes standards in electronics and electrical industries. So I got recognized by the IEEE for my researches in biomedical and drones in 2018 and 2019. And I got two sponsored tours to US, which is one of my childhood dreams, to go to US and represent my country as an inventor. And then in last year, I got the best research award from Australia to one of my drones, which I implemented to assist in disaster operations. And as a startup, since last year, we were working on implementing several COVID-19 technologies, because mainly we were focusing on developing low-cost solutions, and we were able to implement a low-cost robot to sanitize public areas, and we got recognized by the United Nations Development Programs from, I think, there were over 60 countries, and we were on the top 15 position. And all of these are because I did give up on my journey as an inventor. Right? Because in the first 2 times I got failed, but I continued conducting my researches because that was my passion. Right? And while studying the university, right, as I mentioned, I was continuing my researches. And as I think there are 2 ways that you can follow if you are an inventor. The first way is you can publish research papers, or you can make your technology open source, or you can apply for a patent. I think most of you have heard about the patent technology, because Iesl Inventors Commission is now conducting several sessions on the patenting procedures and how you can obtain IP rights. So if you apply a patent, then you can sell your patent for another company, or you can start your own company. But most of the people that I have met, they're not aware of this open source technology and what are the benefits that you can get from these open source communities by making your technology public in those communities. Because most people think that you want anything. That's the most common question that I get from the people. But do not think that you won't get any reward for giving something for free and making something open source. Because from my experience, I got a huge number of opportunities from several companies around the world, including NVIDIA, Microchip, the Fruit, because I made my work open source. I made it free for people, made it free to anyone. So I made it free for people to use it. Right? So think that you want to work with a leading company in the world, right? And think that you have applied for a vacancy there, but there might be thousands of people who are applying for the same job, and there's a very little chance that your CV get reviewed by them. But if you publish your work in an open source community, there are thousands, so there are millions of people who go through them, right? So what happened was my technologies went viral, and several leading companies started to contact me, and then they offered me free products and they offered me contracts to work with their technologies. So that's what I got by publishing my work for free in open source communities. That's the second thing that you can do with inventions rather than apply for patents, right? So that's how I started my company, because by the time I wanted more people to work on these companies, because they were offering me more contracts. And most importantly, I got the chance to get my work reviewed by the expert panel. So I think that as the most valuable opportunity that I got as an inventor. And as Sachin mentioned, for novel inventors, I only have 2 advices. First one is get rid of your fear of rejection. Because if you get quiet after failing 1 or 2 times, then you'll never get succeed. Because those failures will shape up your journey and shape up your way that you do your things, right? Because if we take a competition, right? Let's say if you have an invention and there's a competition that you want to apply. But if you apply that invention as it is, you might not get selected from the first round. Because first you need to go through the guidelines with the regulations, and you need to slightly adjust your invention to get it adhere with their guidelines. So there's a difference between doing an invention and going for a competition. So you need to first get rid of your fear. You need to fail first in order to become success. The second advice is stay up to date with the current technology. Yes, even now I'm using my first half of the day to go through the YouTube videos and technical articles in the industry because I wanted to stay up with the day. Then I only know what to follow, what are the current trends in the industry, what are the novel innovations that are introduced by several companies, right? So in that way, I get to know about the way that I should introduce our next product or the things that I can use for my next innovation or for the implementations. Okay, so I think that would be enough for now because I think it's important for my part. And thank you again, Iesl, for the opportunity.
Thank you very much, Engineer Suraj, for your valuable thoughts. Yes, he is also a proud product of the JIY competition, following his passion, and through creativity and by the technical background, a great young inventor has been created. It's a great pleasure to see such people coming out of the JIY competitions like Engineer Suraj. So thank you very much for being with us. Now we are going to move for the President-elect of IESL, who is the today's guest of honor, Engineer Arjuna Manamperi. He is a fellow member of the Institution of Engineers Sri Lanka, Vice President of the Organization of Professional Associations of Sri Lanka, Vice Chairman of the ICT Industry Skills Council, Council member of the Engineering Council Sri Lanka, and also a past Vice President of the Institution of Engineers Sri Lanka. Dear sir, we are honored to have you here with us today. We would like to hear from you some insights about the importance of inventions and innovations doing through an engineering background. Over to you, sir.
Hi, Boan. Good evening to all of you. Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, sir, we can hear you clearly.
Can you hear me clearly? Right. Let me propose that failure is an option, but quitting is not an option. Karanju said that when he failed, he didn't quit. So therefore, failure is an option. When you try to do new things, failure is an option for you, but you cannot quit. That is the takeaway for today's, for all the young undergraduates and students from the schools. අපිට පරාජය වෙන්න පුළුවන් තරගයක් කරනකොට මොකක් හරි උත්සාහයක් ගන්නකොට අපිට හරියන්න පුළුවන් වැරදෙන්න පුළුවන්. ඒක ඔප්ෂන් එකක් අපිට තියෙනවා. හැබැයි අතාරින්න බෑ වැඩි. ඒක හොඳට මතක තියාගන්න. Now let's see what is invention and innovation. I have a simple definition. Even in this, during these speeches, I saw it's mixed up. Invention for me is something really new that the world has never seen. Something new. It could be a product, it could be a process, it could be something that people have never seen. Innovation, on the other hand, is the evolution of an invention. Let's take the cart wheel. When the human beings invented the wheel, today we have many types of wheels. Aluminium wheels, hard rubber wheels, wooden wheels. These are evolutions of an invention. So they are innovations. So that is the basic difference between the invention and the innovation. Invention is something brand new and people have never seen. Innovation is an evolution of an invention. In fact, if I ask all of you, who is the inventor of the electric bulb, I'm sure almost everybody in the panels and in the audience will say that it is Thomas Edison, which is wrong. 79 years before Thomas Edison, many people, about 20 some people or 20 or 30 some people have come up with the idea for the filament bulb. But what made the Thomas Edison is go into the history book. He had the first patent for the filament bulb. He had reasons to get the patent. It was very user friendly. It had an engineering input to it, so its filaments were never going to be burned. The vacuum process inside the bulb was a lot easier to do. So he had some new things brought into the existing invention, and also he applied for the patent, and he got the patent. So please remember that you may be not an inventor, but you can be a serial innovator. So you may not be an inventor, somebody who comes up with a brand new idea to the world, but you can be a serial innovator, somebody who comes up with evolutions of many ideas. You can take your own ideas. Take the ashtray. If you take the ashtray, the cigarette ashtray, I don't want you to smoke, but if you take the cigarette ashtray, in around 2004 time frame, I have seen more than 2,500 different patents in the USA for ashtrays. 2,500 different patents for ashtrays. That means all of them are new. So with that idea about the invention and innovation, let me remind you what Kumaratunga Munudasa said. He said the country that does not produce, invent or innovate is no use. So today, when you become an engineer or an engineer or non-engineer or an engineering technologist or even engineering technician, as you gain experience, try to do something new, innovative things. It need not be a product. It can be a new way of doing things. It can be improvement in your back office area, how you do things. Have a curious mind and always try to see the world in a different light. Next day, when you get up in the morning, you see, I'm going to see the world in a different way. And try to innovate something new for the benefit of the society. Competitions are good. Awards are good. Going to USA is good. Mecca of inventors, students, and innovators. However, the real award comes from the society. If you do something good for the society, they will remember you. Since our chairman of the JIY is from CEB, as you know, there's a TV ad these days that goes on TV, Rupani, about Dr. Vimala Surendra, Engineer Vimala Surendra, the father of electricity in the country. He didn't invent the water-powered electricity, but he was an innovator who came up with the idea and to give the electricity to the country, for which he remembers. He's remembered by the whole country forever. So that is what the innovators do. So even if you can't become an inventor coming up with a brand new idea, please remember that you can have thousands of innovations under your belt, whether you get paid for that or not. And that's what we should be doing, for which you will be valued, your career will move forward, and people will appreciate your existence as genuine innovators and genuine thinkers and new creative people. So with that thought, again reminding you that failure is an option when you try to take chances. That is a given, but you cannot quit. You take that home and think about it. Failure is an option for you, but you cannot quit. Thank you very much. I wish you all the best in this competition. Thank you very much to the host. And today, Dr. Dulani has innovated her hairstyle and I think everything. So she has done some innovation on her own part. Thank you very much. Have a good evening. Good night.
Thank you very much, sir. We are honored to have you here with your energy and enthusiasm in guiding us as engineering undergraduates as young engineers in many ways. As you said, let's be good inventors and innovators in order to help the society with our best. Thank you very much, sir. So moving forward, our next guest is a gold award winner of the JIY competition 2009. He is Mr. Ganindu Nanayakara, who is recognized as an innovator related to electronics and embedded systems. Currently working as an assistant superintendent of Sri Lanka Customs, as well as a visiting lecturer of the Sri Lanka Institute of Advanced Technological Education. He has won many national and international awards as well as recognitions. Mentioning a few of them, winner of the Intel Science and Engineering Fair 2010 in Computer Science category, Gold Award winner of the Asia Pacific ICT Awards 2008, awarded the Lifetime Award 10 Outstanding Young Persons for Science and Technological Development 2012, Mr. Ganindu Nanayakara. We would like to hear from you about your experience as a past JIY competitor and also a winner. How did you able to manage your time while focusing on your education as well? Mr. Ganindu, now it's your turn.
Yes, thank you, Sachini. Hello, everyone. Good evening. So to give you a brief update of my JIY journey, I actually participated in JIY for the first time in the year 2008. I built an invention with my friend Janit to detect potential fire that happens inside electrical wirings, and we won the 4th place. So we had very high hopes. We worked really hard for it, and so at the time, 4th place felt like a downturn, but the next time I again applied, and that time my invention was called Watch. It was a system for handicapped people to control an entire computer with just 4 head movements. They have to wear a special cap with a laser beam mounted on it, and the system can recognize their head movements, and the computer reacts accordingly. So for that invention, I won the JIY Gold Award. And also I got the opportunity to represent Sri Lanka in the Intel Science and Engineering Fair. And in the Intel Science and Engineering Fair under the computer science category, I could win the 1st place. Now, the great thing about Intel Science and Engineering Fair is if you happen to win a top award in that competition, they name a minor planet after your name, which is a very fancy thing to have. So I do also have a minor planet named after my name, so which I use to impress friends sometimes. So also they offer a lot of cash prizes, and you get a huge exposure. You get to see what other people around the world are up to, what people are building. You get to see all those inventions. It's a great opportunity. And also I've been in so many invention competitions as a competitor, and both as a competitor and as a judge. I've been taken part in so many competitions as a judge as well. So I have a decent amount of understanding about this platform. So let me tell you, when you are building an invention, the kind of things you should pay attention to. Now, most people think, especially school at the school stage, a lot of children, the students think that a good invention means a very complicated invention. So the more complicated your invention is, the more technology you manage to pack into an invention. A lot of students think that it's going to be the best invention, which is completely not true. In an invention, what we are looking for is, number one, what is the problem you are trying to solve? Now, repeatedly, we see things like machines to build cobweb, to break cobwebs, makulu del kadana machine. So that is a real problem, but it's really a minor inconvenience to have, right? So what difference can you make by making the makulu del kadana machine a little bit better? So there are real problems which can make more impact than that. So number one is picking up the right problem to solve. Ask yourself, okay, there's a problem like this. How better the world would be if I managed to figure out a solution to this problem. and the answer is significant, then yes, then go ahead to the next step, which is building the solution. Now, when it comes to building the solution, again, like I said, we are not looking for the most sophisticated solution or most technology-wise advanced solution. We are just looking for the best solution. So one example would be, once there was an invention, which was, I think, a machine he built to machine. So in the first early stages, he came up with this brilliant machine, mechanical machine. With your leg, you can very easily get the job done. And as he got advanced in the competition, got to higher and higher rounds, he somehow like felt insecure because other people have this electronics and everything. He also somehow managed to put in an Arduino, and there was a sensor, electronics. So by the time he got to the semifinals, he had a very complicated product, which really didn't add any additional value to the original problem he was trying to solve. In fact, when you really look at it, polysilicon machine is usually used in very rough environments. So if you add electronics and all that complexity, you are not adding any value, you are just devaluing your product. So when you're trying to build a solution, ask yourself, okay, am I trying to figure out the best solution? Not am I trying to squeeze the best technology into this just to show that I'm capable of doing this. So that, I think, is a good thing to keep in mind when you are building solutions. And also the kind of exposure you have, the diversification of your knowledge also comes into play. Like not only technology, like if you happen to be good at agriculture, architecture, design, user interface, user experience, could be anything. They all come handy time to time when you're building something. Like there are so many stages when it comes to building. When you're building the user interface part, sometimes if you have a user interface, then the creativity in that area could come to play. When you're building something, your mechanical skills. If you happen to put software, then your software engineering skills. Could be anything, but the more exposure you have, the more dynamic your solution is going to be, and the more impressive your uh, solution is going to come up. So it's good to have a lot of exposure, and like Tarindu correctly said, technology is a very rapidly changing thing. So it's very important to have exposure to what's going on in the world, because oftentimes we see children spending enormous amount of time, energy, and money into building something which you can already purchase from eBay for like $2. So we feel really bad when that happens, because the reason why that happens is because they don't have enough exposure to what's going on in the world. Also, in a world where things are changing very rapidly, technology is rapidly developing, your possibilities are also moving targets. Like when I was building my invention in 2009, connecting a program to hardware, like make a hardware react to your software, was a huge deal. So very, very sophisticated. You had to, and very few capabilities were there. Today, you can just buy an Arduino in like 15 minutes, you're up and running. You can do a prototype, build something, make it work. You have all these modules at your disposal. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. You don't have to build very complicated tools to try out your innovation. Like I said, possibilities are moving targets. Now the job is becoming easy. The possibilities are becoming, when more possibilities are there, you can build more and more things. Now that's a good part. The sad part is the person sitting next to you can do that as well. So you are now competing in a more competitive environment where everybody have exposure to so many uh, possibilities. So make sure that you stay up to date and build something that is relevant. And also, after you build something, either you can patent it and maybe license or sell the patent and go for an exit strategy, or like Tarindu said, you can go for an open source. That path is also there. Or else, if you are planning to commercialize it yourself, then there are some additional steps you have to take, like not only innovation, you also have to be good at marketing. Now, most people ignore this part. They think, okay, this is innovation, junior invent of the year. Why should I think about marketing? But when you really think about it, even if you go to a job interview, you are selling yourself, you are marketing. So similarly, even in a competition, or if you are commercializing your product, let's take in the competition for now. you have like a very small period of time, small time window, like maybe 2-3 minutes to pitch your product. And if you fail to convince the judging panel in that small time window about what your product is capable of doing and what your capabilities are, then sometimes like the judging panel tries very hard to see through all those barriers and they really try to look at the product. But still, it really helps if you can clearly communicate about your possibilities and the capabilities of your product, or else there's a possibility that you might lose to another innovator, another competitor. And same thing in the marketing as well. Like not always the best product. That means sometimes the best marketed product can do better than comparatively better products. For example, the McDonald's, they don't necessarily make the best burger in the world, but they sell the most number of burgers. Why? They do marketing right. And then, of course, there's another step which is finance. This is also something most people fail to realize the importance of. After you start a startup, and if your product happen to be a success, if you happen to sell them and generate some revenue, I've seen a lot of people, they straight away go ahead and they maybe lease a BMW to look successful, or they try to buy a fancy house or something. And immediately what happens is you drain your revenue. That's not what you need to do. You need to reinvest all your revenues back to the business to improve your product. And that's how companies grow. But most people fail to realize this, and very prematurely their startups crash and burn because they don't manage their finances well. So innovation, marketing, finance, those three aspects are there in play. And now, of course, when it comes to competitions also, long time ago, they only focused on the product, but now they are very much focused on these areas as well. And that is why they're asking for things like business model canvases, where you have to explain all your strategies, all your marketing plans, all your financing approaches. You have to explain all aspects of your product, how you are going to make it commercially viable, how you are going to make a revenue out of this, how this product going to be sustainable. So all those aspects have to be in place nowadays in competitions, and of course for you to be successful in real life. So I think I'm running out of time. So keep those things in mind when you're competing in your competition. There are so many possibilities ahead of you. This is a great platform to be in. You can achieve great things, and wish you all good luck.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ganindu. As he said, good invention is not really a very much complex invention. Rather, figure out the best solution for the problem. Really, we are proud to have inventors like Mr. Ganindu by the JIY competition, which is held throughout 40 years of past. Now, I would like to move on to our next guest. He is the advisor of the JIY and UIY competition, Engineer M.R. Ranatunga. Engineer Ranatunga is the Additional General Manager Projects in the Ceylon Electricity Board. He had graduated as an electrical engineer from the university in 1987 and obtained the PD diploma in electronics engineering from the Technical University of Eindhoven, Netherlands. He is currently a corporate member of the Iesl. He has been working with the Iesl since 1993 and also a council member of the Iesl and currently the chairman of Electrical, Electronics and Telecommunication Engineering Sectional Committee. Also, he is a past chairman of the IESL Kandurate chapter. Engineer Ranatunga is famous in guiding and supporting the junior engineers as well as the students in many ways throughout his career. And also, today's morning, he was there in the Rupavahini Shanida Aiboan event too. Engineer M.R. Ranatunga, dear sir, we are really lucky to have you here for our event. And we would like to hear from you about the guidance and support the industry can give to the competitors of these JIY and UIY competitions. Dear sir, over to you.
Thank you, Sachini, for the kind introduction. Am I audible enough for you to be comfortable?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, right.
Sure.
Thank you, and I wish you all the best. And also, I would like to thank the chairman JIY Tarindu Kankanamge, and also I wish best of luck for all the participants. I saw more than 100 participants are with us right now. In fact, I'm supposed to tell about what kind of facilities we can offer for young inventors. I think most of the past participants, they have mentioned about the way they, what is invention, how they succeed, and what is the future. I am proud to say and glad to say also, I had an opportunity to guide a young inventor, and he was the winner sometime back in Iesl JIY competition. I had a chance to be in the exhibition of the Intel. Therefore, I was there for entire 1 week. And also I had opportunity to guide school students and also training them and guiding in many occasions. What I want to do is generally the invention is to solve a problem. If there's a problem and we are trying to find solution. The problem is now we have the internet facilities and other facilities, and also we know whether this invention is done elsewhere, or we can cross check whether our invention is a true invention or it is a kind of a modification of a kind of existing system. When we are making a product or invention, the problem faced by school leavers or maybe the schools, maybe students, and also maybe the university students, how to get this final product in a workable way or the workable model. The facilities which we can offer is we have friends, maybe we have a lot of senior engineers and also lecturers. We can contact them and we can ask them to help for young inventors to make use of their laboratories to shape their product in a way that is a workable model or a working model or a prototype. And also, if it is a little bit complicated one, involving maybe uh, cutting, bending, and also precise drilling, and also maybe you have to do some hard work in metal, which you can't do at home. We can ask Nerd Center to help. They are willing to help. And sometime back also, they gave support to young inventors to finish their product and also present it nicely. Therefore, what we can offer is, even in Ceylon Electricity Board, we have a very good network, and also we have support to the sister companies are there. They have all these industrial facilities. Therefore, young inventors or the inventors in university need not to worry about how to get this invention in a presentable way, or the work, how to make it a prototype, how to make it a working model. You don't have to fear of these things. We can offer the help and the guidance to do the what the help any help that they can't get from home or from their school and other places. Therefore, even in maybe in the universities, some of the universities have some facilities, but not all. Maybe there are a lot of invention, and also if I talk about the electrical industries, now there are a lot of opportunity for energy storage. And also nanotechnology, we know enough technology about the nanotechnology, energy storage, and also in industries, if you visit visit industries, you will see there are so many things to be problems, and there may be some innovative way of doing it in an economical way. The COVID situation has paved us a way because because of the nature of this COVID, we can't move. Therefore, we have to use technology and also maybe transportation system. And also, when we are in restrictive mode, we tend to think more and we want to get rid of that congested situation or the restricted situation. Therefore, we are trying to do more and more innovation. Therefore, this is the time, even during the war time, we get restriction or the orders from the top. And because of the stress, when the stress is little bit more, maybe more than 40%, 50%, you are trying to do some innovation, but the stress is, if it is more than 95%, maybe you are not, you are trying to give up. Therefore, this is a good time and situation. And also you have free time to think about to do innovative products, and I congratulate for all the organizers and also for restricting without using new technology, finding way to do the invention. If you do a correct invention, maybe you get the benefits definitely. And I know whether the invention is small or big, it doesn't matter. But if you do many invention, maybe one out of it will cover the entire cost of the other effort that you have made. Therefore, thank you very much for giving me the opportunity. And if you need any help from the industry, the president, committee members, or any members who are willing to do the invention, we are there. We are there to help you. Thank you very much. Have a nice evening. Thank you very much. Over to you, Sachin.
Thank you very much, dear sir. Yes, of course. Now it's clear that many companies, many industrial companies, as well as the universities are willing and they are ready to help all the inventors and innovators to develop their products. So it's your time to think and invent in the midst of this restricted situation, COVID-19. Thank you very much again, dear sir, for being with us here today. Now we have another two members for the forum. They are group category winners of the Junior Inventor of the Year 2017, Mr. Gajindu Bandara and Mr. Kimhan Vijayvardhan. Mr. Gajindu Bandara is a software engineering undergraduate at the Cardiff Metropolitan University, and Mr. Kimhan Vijayvardhan is an information technology undergraduate at the University of Moratuwa, and also he is an intern of the INCRA and also an associate software engineer at Sustainable Education Foundation. Mr. Kimhan and Mr. Gajindu has been working as a team of inventors since school time. They have won many national as well as international competitions. Mentioning a few of them: 4th place of the Intel Science and Engineering Fair 2018, which was held in Petersburg, USA. Gold Award winners of Asia Pacific Information and Communication Technology Alliance 2016. National winners of Sri Lanka Science and Engineering Fair 2018. Of course, being a team, having an instinct of new inventions, working towards them successfully, and securing awards and recognitions in national as well as international context is not an easy task. Mr. Kimhan, Mr. Gajindu, let's talk about your experience as past winners of the JIY competition and also about the tips and tricks of playing the role of a team player. Over to you.
Good evening, everyone. First of all, I would like to thank the organizing committee for giving us the opportunity to share our experience with all of you. So first of all, I'm gonna give you a brief introduction about the innovation we did in the JIY competition. So that was the team project, and my partner is Iesl Jiy Uiy. And our project was a smart walking stick for blind, and we came up with the idea in 2015. So in the beginning, we didn't have any technological idea how to build this thing up. So we started doing some little things to develop this idea, and most of all, I want to introduce our brother from our college, Asanka Virusinghe, and our teacher helped us in various ways to overcome our project. And also since 2015, we developed our project yearly, and we participated in some competitions like Sahasak Nimeum, YPS, and AFITA as well. So I'm gonna tell you about the features in our innovation. So it has the obstacle detection system. It detects the obstacle and gives more easy way to transport for the blind person. And there's emergency messaging system, which helps the person to the guardian to identify the place of the blind person. And the other one is a stick finding system, which is easy to find the stick when it's missing. And fourth one is a crossing system, so it's easy to the person to cross the road. And the fifth one is special charging system. So that's it all about our product. So then in 2017, we applied for the JIY competition. So it was a great experience for us. And in the beginning, there were multiple selection rounds, and we were able to select most of them. And at last, we were selected to top 20 in and Techno exhibition in the MCH, which was held in 2017, and we were selected to the top 10. So after that, top 10 projects from JIY and 10 from Science Foundation. Altogether, there were 20. And from that, they selected 3 projects to represent Sri Lanka at the Intel Science and Engineering Fair. So we were able to came up to that top 3, and we represent Sri Lanka at the Intel Science and Engineering Fair, and we were able to win the 4th place among all other countries. So I would like to especially mention Nigola sir, Diane sir, and Mr. Madhuranga from the ISA. They gave us a great support, guided us through the competition, and with our device as well as to improve our presentation skills to present in an international level. So we had some difficulties with participating in this event. One is we had our A levels in 2019, so we participated in this event in 2017 and 18. So it was a bit difficult to manage our studies and both. So however, we were able to manage them both. And yeah, it was a really great experience we had throughout this competition. And we worked as a team, and we learned lots of things. So Gimhan will explain you the things we learned from there and how we worked as a team to win this competition. Gimhan, over to you.
Thank you, Kajindu. Good evening, everyone. As Sachini mentioned, I'm Gimhan Jiy Uiy, and I'm an intern software engineer at Antigraph. So today, Mr. Ganidu and Mr. Tharindu both gave you some advices how to win the JIY. So I'll speak today for all the young inventors, telling our story about how we won the JIY competition. So these are like basically tips how to win this competition. So when you go to the JIY competition, you need to have a logbook, which is called, you need to write down everything of your invention in that book. You have to mention when you got this idea and how you improved your device, and likewise. So this logbook was very important for an invention, and yeah, we did have a very good logbook. So, and the second thing is you need to have a solid presentation. So when it comes to presenting something to the judges, they expect a lot from you. So you need to have a solid presentation. and you need to have the good time management as well. So like when they tell you you need to prepare for 10-minute video, yeah, you should prepare for a 10-minute video, not 11-minute, not a 9-minute. So yeah, you should work on the presentation too. And when we participated in some competitions, we saw some great inventions. So whenever we go to that competition and when we see the good inventions out there, we feel like, oh my God, that's something better than us. And I'm saying is, you should not feel that way. You should feel like, this is our invention is very good. You should always feel confident about your invention. So always believe in your product, always believe in your invention. And about when you go for like abroad competitions like Intel ISEF, APICTA, you should always have a research. Like when we went to the ISEF competition, we had a very detailed research of our product, and we did some questionnaires, and we had some we had some lot of things in the research. So yeah, those are the main tips on how to win the JIY competition. And as Mrs. Sachini mentioned, working as a team sometimes can be really easy and sometimes can be really hard. So you should always share your work with the team members. So let's say in our case, I did the software part in our product and Gajinu did the hardware part in his product. So you should always share your work. We all have our strengths and our weaknesses. So yeah, and whenever you, let's say you are improving a new feature in your product. So whenever you do that, you need to brainstorm your ideas. You need to come together and put everything on the table, saying this feature might be good and this feature might be good likewise. So, and there's something really tricky when it comes to this. Whenever you go to competitions, you say, I did the software part and my friend did the hardware part, but the judges are really tricky. So in that case, they ask you to switch the roles, and they ask questions about on the field that you are not knowledgeable. So you should always know what your friend did and how he did it, and likewise. So and I noticed something with our colleague inventors. So whenever they come to the first competition, they have something built. I mean, a solid product. But as they move on the rounds, they don't improve that. So you should always improve your product. Get feedback from the people and ask how they want their product to be, and you should always improve your product. And yeah, uh, and these are the like basic tips when it comes to teamwork. And yeah, you should always have good coordination with your teammate. And in our case, of course, like Gajun is really good at hardware stuff, so I learned a lot from him. And likewise, we shared our work and we still do in some projects. So you should always have a good coordination with your team member. So like these are the basic tips on how to win the JIY, on how we won the JIY competition. And I'm really looking forward to see some great inventions, great innovations from our young inventors. And thank you organizing committee for giving us this opportunity to address the young inventors. And thank you everyone, and have a good evening.
Thank you very much, Mr. Gimhan and Mr. Gajindu. Yes, of course, we are also honored to have you all here with us in this launching ceremony. Focus on time management, maintaining a logbook, being smart in teamwork, and continuous improvement of your product will lead you to win these competitions and innovate good products which will help to the society. So moving on, we have one question from the audience. That is, will you guide us on how to apply for the competition? After a few minutes time, we are going to launch our two websites, one for JIY and one for UIY. All the informations about how you need to apply for these competitions are there. So please kindly visit those websites for more information. And moving on, Now we are going to look at the team behind this organizing. Mr. Amila Premakumara, a committee member of the JIY UIY committee, currently a civil engineering undergraduate from the University of Moratuwa, will present you about the team behind this work as well as the pathfinders of the 2021 committee. Over to you, Amila.
Thank you, Engineer Sashini. Hope I'm audible and visible.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you. A very good evening to all of you, chief guests, distinguished guests, invitees, and dear participants. Foremost, thank you very much for this opportunity to speak up on this renowned crowd about the proceedings of the JIY 2021 competition. I'm honored to be here today. So let's move on. So in this presentation, I will briefly cover the aspects on generic details and participants, and most prominently, the new initiatives taken by our team to address the success of the competition while managing with the COVID-19. So again, as our chairman has advocated courteously, our vision is to encourage the innovation in engineering and technology among the school children in Sri Lanka in the age group of 12 to 19. So in this year's competition, we are trying to engage with the students by emphasizing on the exclusive cash prizes and awards, scholarship opportunities, and most importantly, the research internship that would they gain upon pursuing the JIY common goal. So talking about the participants, in 2019, the JIY have been able to secure over 1,500 participants from all around the country, which is a number that we are eyeing on this year as well, amidst the challenges posed by social distancing and spread of COVID-19, as I mentioned. So the roadmap for a competition would be as shown. We will start from provincial premier levels of the competition, then workshop awareness session for the selected 60 students, and final competition, and most ultimately the techno exhibition. And the benefits of and the awards of the commission will be highlighted again to improve the engagement with the JIY. So then moving on to the limelight of my state, the new initiatives taken by JIY to improve the quality of the competition while addressing the challenging circumstances provided by the COVID-19, as I have mentioned. As to the first initiative, we have designed our own website for Iesl Jiy Uiy, which incorporates all the relevant features from registration to the final level of the competition, as you can see here, which will be launched later tonight. So all the required forms and details are well managed in our own data servers, which supervision have been made quite easy, and user-friendly interface is provided to the competitors as well. Moving on with the initiatives, we have been able to produce the first ever comprehensive set of guidelines in all 3 languages. Another thing to be highlighted is the fact that the collaboration between these guidelines and all the application forms in the virtual platform. And also, we took another inventiveness where we recruited engineering undergraduates from all the state engineering universities to represent their alma mater. Up to now, the number is around 120, where all the major schools in the island have been considered. Not only that, a valuable acknowledgement and certificate will be awarded for their volunteering service at the end of the JIY 2021 competition. Unfortunately, all of them cannot be here today because many universities have their in-semester examination these days, so sorry for that. And the role of the representative would be to take the message to the relevant schools about the competition and increase the number of engagement of the competition. So for that, we have given the brochure of guidelines, as you can see here, which include relevant permission, imitation, the significance extract from the guidelines so that they can address the school officials much conveniently. Furthermore, we encourage them to improve their status by establishing LinkedIn accounts. As you can see here, we have provided them with a comprehensive set of guidelines, tutorials, forms by JIY committee, a comprehensive guideline containing 16 pages of document. And moving into the competition, we tried to improve the quality of the invention of the competitors. We have proposed to accompany 60 provincial winners to 4 major universities in the country, University of Jaffna, Moratuwa, Peradeniya, and Ruhuna, where they will gain knowledge to improve their work while getting the enthusiasm to follow the engineering path. We also propose a T-shirt for the series to support the ingenuity of the program. This project is known as the Inspiring Pathfinder, and we also have made provisions to do this virtually if the prevailing circumstances continue due to COVID-19. So Subsequently publicizing the competition, our team has prepared several sets of flyers to be posted in all kinds of media platforms in all 3 languages, as you can see here. And also, we have prepared several videos, including the motivation and knowledge that required for a contestant to make success in his journey, as in this video. So coming into our team, with the continuous support and guidance provided by JIY Executive Committee, we have been able to recruit passionate young undergraduates from 5 major state engineering universities in the country, Mr. Moratua, Peradina, Ruhuna, Japan, Sridhar. And we have a team of 18, including talented content creators, profound graphic designers, and brilliant web editors. Quite simply, it's a team of high spirit and brilliance. Everything we have done today is a product of this wonderful team, and I'm quite proud to introduce them to the distinguished gathering as their leader today. So that's it for me. Thank you very much. And finally, I will conclude with inviting all of you to be with us, be with JIY, be with UIY, take part in furnishing the innovative culture in Sri Lanka. India Sajini, back to you. Good night.
Thank you very much, Mr. Amila. Yes, it was a good description about the team behind JIY. Now let's move on to the team behind UIY, University Inventor of the Year competition. Mr. Iesl Jiy Uiy, a committee member of the JIY UIY Committee 2021, currently an electrical and electronics engineering undergraduate from the University of Peradeniya. Mr. Iesl, now it's your turn to present the audience about the team behind this giant work.
Am I audible enough?
Yes, of course, Iesl. Go ahead.
Can you see the slides as well? Okay, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Society has always been impacted by technology. Each invention has affected how people relate to one another and how cultures have expanded or ended. Invention within innovation impact how cities grow, where people live, and who owns that. There are the reasons a few people are very rich, that people are more social, and that teaching and learning is changing. So this is the time we want to change the system of learning, experimenting, invention, and innovation. Engineering undergraduates, this is the time to shift and look at the world in a different way and make this change. And Iesl Undergraduate Inventor of the Year would be one of the best platforms to achieve this. I hope that you all got a clear understanding about UIY, the procedure to enter the competition, and other necessary details from the introduction session by Dr. Dullimudu Kotua. So in simplest words, this is the best platform to showcase innovativeness and talents of engineering undergraduates. It's not just the competition only. We have initiated several programs to empower the undergraduates and school students about the inventions. So innovations is such a program. It's a webinar series conducted by different engineers, researchers, and maybe the lecturers from different fields, from different universities. So this is such a program that we are initiated. And the next one is the JIY UIY magazine. It's a new concept, and it is to increase the knowledge of the new trends in the world on the industry and inventions among all the undergraduates and school students. And also we have created a social media campaign, Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube, to share the updates and news day by day. So now I'm going to introduce our UIY subcommittee. Except the senior engineers in the executive committee, the young engineers, Engineer Sandhima Samarasinghe, Engineer Sachini Somatilaka, and Engineer Buddhila Dantasinghe, are giving assistance every time to us. Their guidance is so valuable. And thank you very much, sir. And this is our team. Starting with me, I'm Iesl Jiy Uiy, University of Peradeniya, and then Imasha Balaheva, University of Moratuwa, as the secretary, and Lakshani Patrige and Nikesh Kumar Singha as assistant secretaries representing University of Moratuwa. Then the university chapter representatives, their support is immensely helpful to reach the university students and organize the staff in the universities. Starting with Dasum Viratunga, chapter chairman of University of Ruhuna, Asura Vikrama, chapter chairman of University of Sri Javadhanapura, and chapter chairman of University of Peradeniya, Thamdu Basnayaka. And then chapter chairman of Southeastern University, MG Mahanama, chapter chairman of the University of Jaffna, Janardhan, and then chapter secretary of University of Jaffna, Dushan Sani Viratna. And also some other immediate past chairmen, Mirza Amaratunga from University of Jaffna, Tinnu Pendra from University of Peradeniya, and Upeka Veera Singh from University of Moratuwa. And these are the members of the organizing team. Here, Vinod Vikramasinghe, and he is also working as the social media administrator, and Hasinta Hevage from University of Ruhuna, and Chaturanga Lienage from University of Ruhuna. And this is the content team. They are helping with to create the flyers, to create, design, set the content of the flyers, and everything in the newsletter and such that. Starting from Devmini Suravira from University of Moratuwa, Panchani Jatasekara from University of Moratuwa, Sharvika Krishnamurthy from University of Jaffna, and Arunadi from University of Moratuwa. Next, the graphic designing team. As you all know that the COVID-19 pandemic situation made us to change from normal physical engagements to a virtual platform. So these are the people who did a great job in designing flyers and slides and so on. The lead, Risuri Gunaratna from University of Sri Javardhanapura, and Dilam Pirasad from University of Moratuwa, Samira Madhushankar from University of Peradeniya, and finally Sanjit Amarasinghe, University of Moratuwa. And this is the video team. The lead is done by Yasas Vikramasuri, University of Peradeniya, Dimantali Narachi, University of Sri Javardhanapura, Ramit Laksara from University of Peradeniya, and finally Gimal Jit from University of Peradeniya. You all know that video designing is such a challenge in this situation, so they are doing a great job. So that's our team representing every universities with different cultures, ideas, and skills. It is a challenge, bit of a challenge for me to organize them, but it has the next level. So anyhow, this is just the beginning. We hope to do more and do at our best. And you can visit the website after the launching, and you can get every detail about the competition there. And thank you very much. Over to you, Engineer Sachini.
Thank you very much, Mr. Akila. Organizing this competition itself is a huge teamwork. So thank you very much for introducing the team behind this work. And it marks the end of today's forum. Once again, thank you all for all the distinguished participants of the forum for joining with us and sharing your valuable thoughts with us. Thank you, sir and madam, everyone, for joining with us in this forum. So now let's move on to the most awaited moment of the event, the official launching of the JIY and UIY websites. Over to you, MCs.
Thank you very much, Engineer Sachini. After that insightful and impactful discussion, now it's a time that we are waiting for. And this is the moment, the launch of the websites of both UIY as well as the JIY. So, first of all, to launch the JIY website, I would like to invite our chief guest, the President of IESL, Engineer KP Ayu Dharmapala. Yes, sir. The screen will be shared momentarily. You can, yes. Sir, if possible, you please request for the remote access.
Janaka, may I suggest to make it more user-friendly for the president if he wants to? You can get this screen to be shared and president can go to the website and do it.
It was done.
It was done, right? Yeah.
Allow me to launch my one, share my, then president can follow it.
The JIY website is already launched, I think. Yes. Thank you very much, sir, for joining with us. And then we have over to you, Dina.
Thank you, Janaka. Next in line to launch the UIY website, I would like to invite our guest of honor, the President-elect, Engineer Arjuna Manampally. Yes, sir, please launch the website.
Okay, you have photograph of mine when I had more hair on my head. Right, now are you going to allow me to share my, are you going to click it and launch it while I'm on screen, or are you going to allow me to click it by going to the website? I prefer to do it if you allow me to host my screen, I will do it myself. Shall we do it that way? If you allow me to host my screen, share
Yes,
my
sir.
screen.
Yes, sir, that would
I
be.
will do it myself because I want to show you something. Shall we do it that way?
Yes, sir. Sure, sir.
Right. Okay. Now, have you given me the ability to share my screen?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Have you given the ability to share my screen?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Hang in there. Just a second.
Okay.
Right. Okay. Okay. Hang in there. Now what I'm doing is I'm going to the website. When I'm ready, I will share the screen. This is my father's computer that I'm using. So he has so many YouTube videos. Just a second, guys. Bear with me. I'm trying to. It's very slow. The system is.
Sure, sir. Whenever you're ready.
I don't know why. No, I'm ready. I'm already doing that. I'm not stuck, but it's computer speed is very slow. Right, hang in there. I got to the Iesl website. Now I will share it with you, and then I will do it myself. So I want to show some things to the young members who are gathered today. Just a second. I want to pitch for the Iesl. I want to do little marketing for Iesl when I have the opportunity. That's what our last presenter told us, right? To market every opportunity we get. Wait, its Iesl website is coming up. Hang on a second. Yeah, nothing to do with my speed. Can you guys see me on screen? I don't see myself on screen. Are you seeing me, or what are you seeing me at right now? Talk to me.
It's not visible yet, sir.
Now I will share my screen.
Yes, sir.
Wait. Oh, what is going on? Maybe I'm trying to be too smart and gentlemen, because this computer is very slow. Suggest that. Hang on a second. I would suggest that you just launch it yourself. You bring it up on the screen and launch it. Whether I do it or you do it, it's the same thing. Clicking of a button. Shall we do it that way? Yeah. What does it say? When I try to launch my screen, photos, iCloud, website URL, right? Let's see what happens. Just a second. Very slow, that's why.
Okay, sir. Then we'll share the screen then, sir. Yeah. Okay.
Just launch the website.
Sure, sir.
Just launch it, son. Just launch it. Please launch it. Can you hear me?
Hello, sir. Your audio is breaking up, sir.
Wait. Now it has come up with the box. I don't know. Right. I think it's very slow. So you go ahead and launch it, son. That's okay. Go ahead and launch it. It's very slow. The system is slow.
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much,
sir.
sir.
Wait a moment, sir. Yeah.
Shall I share the screen then?
Yeah, unshare the screen, yes, because it's too slow. What I wanted to show was, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Akila?
Yes, I can. I can hear you, sir.
What I wanted to show is that the Iesl website and all the students and young undergraduate students should go to this website and make use of that our website, Iesl website. Particularly the what's happening. If you go to the main menu, there's what's happening at Iesl and about us. These are
Sure,
very
sir.
good areas
Then
to
I
go, and also
I
will share, and then you can.
the JIY is.
I will scroll down the website, and you can speak yourself.
That's okay. Don't. It's late night. It's 6 o'clock. All.
Okay,
Don't
sir.
waste time.
Then I will
Just
launch.
go ahead and finish it off. Right. Launch it. Hip hip hooray. There you go.
So do you want me to scroll down or something?
No, nothing. Do whatever you want to do. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. It's for the young members who are joined here. About how many of them are still around? Let's see. Because the system has become very slow. There are 85 people. So for them, you explain to them what it is, and then they can use it. I wanted to explain the Iesl website, but it's too slow. This is the IESL website. From there, you are launching the JIY and UIY
Yes, sir.
pages.
Yeah.
They can go to them when you go to the www.iesl.lk. If they go to www.iesl.lk, and if you go to the main menu, it's under chapters and forums. If you click the chapters and forum, then that's where it is. Can you please show it to them how to do that? I would appreciate. Go to homepage, IESL homepage.
Sir, I
go
didn't
to
get
IESL
that.
homepage.
Okay, sir. Okay. Sure.
Go to IESL homepage. Go to IESL homepage.
Wait, sir.
You were there, brother. Is it my system or?
So
What's up?
I can take over.
Sure, Mr.
Yeah, who's going to take over? Right, do that. Whoever takes over, guy takes over. I want somebody to take over and go to the www.iesl.lk.
So hope it is visible.
Somebody in charge. Excellent.
So is it visible?
Leadership. There you go. Now you go to the main menu. Yes, right under. See this section called very important for the students. This what is happening at IESL section. Then about IESL. Then also to go to this where you have clicked now, which is chapters and forums. If you click on the chapters and forum under forums, click forums. Stay with me. Go to chapters and forums. Click on chapter. No. Yes, just and under forums, there's JIY. Click there. That will launch the page to the 2 competitions. There you go. Now launch any one of those buttons and it will take you there. Right, Mr. Chairman? Now then?
Yes, sir, that's right. By today,
right. So that is how we want. You don't want to give a spoon feed. People should be able to go to website and get on with it. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you
very
much.
Very good. Thank you very much for showcasing that. That's how people should access it. So while you're accessing it, also make use of the IESL website resources. That's very important. That's why I want to show it this way. Thank you very much, Chairman. Never lose an opportunity to market if you're an inventor or innovator. Always you have to market. Remember that. I'm breaking up, I'm sure. I'm done. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you for assisting me.
Thank you, sir. It was really helpful indeed for newcomers for the website as well. Thank you very much, sir. Then moving forward,
yep.
Before wrapping up the session, I'm going to the vote of thanks. I would like to ask everyone to turn on their videos so we can take a group screenshots to commemorate this event for the future.
All right, do it fast, please. I got to go.
When enough.
Now then, promised me 1 hour. Chairman promised me 1 hour, and now I have taken 2 hours because of you guys. I stayed back. Right? Where's our president? Is he gone? All right, let's take a photograph. I'm ready.
I came. Benton came.
There you are. Our president is in his good spirit. Very good. There he is. Our real president is here, my friend. It's wonderful.
So then, without any further delays, let's take the photograph, right? Okay, then right. 1, 2, and 3. It's fine. Okay, I think the photograph is taken.
All right.
Yes. Okay. Thank you very much, everyone,
Thank you,
for.
President.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Thank you, Chairman. Thank you all. Well done, Dr. Dulini. Well done. Everybody, well done. Our host,
Thank you very much.
hostess, everybody is
Thank you very much,
fantastic.
both of
Okay.
you.
Leadership is excellent, and it's really encouraging to see what you have done. Thank you very much. That's my vote of thanks.
Okay, thank you, everybody.
Now, it's time to commemorate and honor the contribution of all who helped to enrich the color of this event today. Engineer Buddhilan Dantasinghe, who is a lecturer of Faculty of Technology, University of Ruhuna, was graduated from Department of Electrical Engineering, University of Montreux in 2020. He is an associate member of IESL and a committee member of the Junior Inventor of the Year undergraduate program of IESL for the session 2020 and 21. Now, I would like to invite Engineer Buddhila to deliver the vote of thanks.
Thank you, Dina. I think all of you can hear me clearly. So, can you hear me clearly?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, thank you. So, good evening, all of you. So, it's a great pleasure for me to have this opportunity to express my sincere gratitude on behalf of the Iesl Jiy Uiy committee for everyone who contributes to make this event a grand success. So thank you very much, the organizing committee, for giving me this opportunity. First of all, I am hearty gratitude Engineer KP Dharmapala, the President of Institution of Engineering Sri Lanka. Thank you very much, sir, for giving us your precious time on this event. Next, I would like to express my sincere thanks to Engineer Arjuna Manamperi, the elected President of Institution of Engineers Sri Lanka. Thank you very much, sir, for your shared thoughts and ideas. It really means a lot to us. Next, I would like to thank Engineer M.R. Anatunga for your guidance and the support throughout all the JIY and UIY programs. Thank you very much, sir. Next, Engineer Tarindu Suraj, Mr. Ganiduna Anakkara, Mr. G.K. Bandara, and Mr. K.G. Vijayawardhan. I would like to thank you for your shared thoughts and experiences during the discussion forum. And Engineer Sachini Somatilaka, thank you for the coordination of the discussion forum. Then I would like to express my sincere gratitude to Engineer Namadana Kankanamge, the Chairman JIY UIY program of IESL for the session 2020-2021, and Dr. Dulini Mudunkotua, the Secretary of JIY UIY program of IESL for the session 2020-2021. Thank you, sir and madam, for your guidance and support. And all the committee members, subcommittee members of JIY and UIY, thank you very much for your dedication and effort to make this event a grand success. All distinguished guests, all IESL members, school representatives, school students, teachers, parents, and undergraduates. Thank you very much all for your support and participation to make this event a grand success. So I conclude my vote of thanks by expressing once again a warm thanks to all the parties for your support to make this event a grand success. Good night all. Thank you very much.
Good night. Well done.
Thank you, sir. Step by step, we have reached the termination of another magnificently glorious day for the Institution of Engineers Sri Lanka.
If you have questions, doubts, or clarifications to be done on the JIY and the UIY competitions, please stay tuned for future events such as Inspiring Pathfinders for JIY and In Renovations for UIY. Also, you can visit our 2 brand new websites where you can find almost everything you need to know about the UIY and the JIY.
Adding something. Remember, there are no limitations on what's possible. Therefore, don't limit your challenges, but challenge your limits.
Good night, and may God bless you.
Janaka, you are a good compere, right? Your job is to be a compere in your life, I think. That's for sure.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
The Institution of Engineers, Sri Lanka is the successor to the Engineering Association of Ceylon, which was founded in 1906. In 1968, this association was made an incorporated body of the government by an Act of Parliament as the Institution of Engineers. Ceylon, which was subsequently named the Institution of Engineers Sri Lanka when our country became a republic. The IESL being the apex body for engineering professionals in Sri Lanka, having a membership of more than 20,000, is called upon to represent the profession at many national forums and contribute to national development.
Pushing the boundaries of innovative culture, the Junior Inventor of the Year competition came to life in 1980 under the guidance of the Institution of Engineers Sri Lanka. Laying out the vision of encouraging innovation in engineering and technology among school children in Sri Lanka, the JIY is promoting creativity and bringing out the inner potential of students to this day. Starting with 50 inventors annually, JIY has now synergized the confluence of innovation island-wide by being the platform for thousands of young innovators. The competition brings provincial awareness programs, provincial-level competitions, residential workshops, and more learning opportunities together. Reshaping the future of its competitors, JIY creates the path to climb the ladder of success by rewarding them with exclusive scholarships, monetary prizes, internship opportunities, and international recognition. Fostering the culture of innovation and sparking endless possibilities in Sri Lanka, the resurgence of JIY 2021 marks the 41st installment of the competition.
Institution of Engineers Sri Lanka is the multidisciplinary professional engineering institution in Sri Lanka. It was established in 1956. It is an apex body for professional engineers in Sri Lanka with the vision of be amongst the leading professional institution in engineering and technology in the world. Its mission is to be the apex national body of engineers in Sri Lanka, which ensures internationally recognized and locally relevant standards in the professional practice and education in engineering. Undergraduate Inventor of the Year by Iesl is another great initiative which any undergraduate or a team of undergraduates from engineering faculties of Sri Lanka can participate. We encourage and stimulate the creativity and interest in innovation among engineering undergraduates and contribute for real-world problems. Expose students to competitive and challenging competitions and provide a venue for networking with the industry and academia will be the milestones of UIY competition. At the end of the competition, winners will get exclusive cash prizes, awards and certificates with a remarkable experience. For registrations, please visit www.uiy@iesl.lk. You all are welcome to create the innovative pathway of your future.